How's it going, YouTube? This is your main man, Prometheus, here in Chino Hills, a little town, maybe about 30 miles from where I live. It's in the Inland Empire. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that Inland Empire. It's San Bernardino, Chino Hills, Ontario, California, all in California. I think the the Ball brothers, LaMelo and all them, they're famous for going to high school out here. So you guys may have heard of Chino Hills, but this is where I'm at right now. Um, Before I start my video though, what brought me out was I had purchased some shoes for, okay, so if you ever bought shoes off the Nike app, or if you ever purchased like the harder to get releases, shoes you just can't go to Foot Locker and go get. Um, you basically almost have to compete with everyone else for the privilege to buy the shoes. You don't win the shoes. It might be a raffle, but you don't win anything. You win the right to buy them. So, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know that, but it's these shoes here. So it's these here. Let me see if I can show them to you. I think I showed them before. It's the Lil Yachty, the Lil Yachty Air Force Ones. See that? Lil Yachty, concrete Boys, or whatever name his little clique is. I think I bought them for $150, and I just resold them for $500 on Goat. So I'm gonna drop them off at the Goat, and Goat is a reselling platform where you can, purchase, name brand items or designer items that are probably no longer being sold. It's usually at a marked up cost, but at least you can at least get the items. So those are those shoes. So I'm gonna take them into Goat. I'm a little nervous to sell them because, like I said, I bought them for $155, and I just resold them for $500, and the price is still going up. So I'm like, should I wait? Should I wait till it gets to $7? But what if it drops? So that's kind of my dilemma. Anyway, I just wanted to come out here, just somewhere besides my home, and I don't know, just get some fresh air and talk to you guys about something that I'm noticing when I'm overseas. And what I'm noticing, guys, is particularly with those of us of sub-Saharan ancestry, and I'm speaking mainly of the Philippines and Thailand, but I did see it in the DR a bit as well. But I'm definitely speaking of Thailand and the Philippines. I'm seeing where a lot of American expats, a lot of American men going over there to meet women, we are dating way below the standards. We're way below the standards, guys. The white guys too. You white brothers, some of the girls I see you guys with. Now, with the white guys, it's weird because the prettiest girls that you see with an American, a foreigner, it'll be a white guy. And then the ugliest girls you see with a foreigner, it'll be a white guy. So they're kind of all over the place with it. But with the black guys, it's kind of consistently bad, guys, or just really no better than what they could do outside of America. You know what I mean? It's like, did you really fly 8,000 miles for that? And you're just constantly seeing that. You're constantly seeing brothers that, with girls that are below the standard, man. They're just almost embarrassing to a certain extent, man. And I just think, what was the point of traveling to another country, you know, to go get a super overweight girl, or a girl whose skin looks like a bowl of a malto meal. You know, like, what are you doing? What's going on? And I can't help but to think it's some standard, it's some low self-esteem standard that we're taking from America and bringing with us wherever we go. That has to stop, guys. We're coming over to these countries to live our best life, and that includes dealing with women that represent what we're trying to become. I get it. Over in the United States, we've had to settle. And let me say this too. I'm not wagging my finger at anyone, because I'm also speaking about myself. A lot of times when I make these videos, I may be giving out advice, but I'm also pep talking myself or reminding myself of what I need to do as well, because I've fallen short of the glory myself in this regard. Sometimes you'll meet a girl and she's aight and she's really, really pleasant to be around, and you will kind of get caught up in the fact that she's washing your clothes, she's sweet, she's nice, but she's really, really not what you want. You know what I mean? She's not what you envisioned when you hopped on a plane and flew 8,000 miles, but you're kind of settling. And I do want to say this before anyone has a chance to say it. I know there's more to picking a girl than just how she looks. I know you have to factor in their personality, but to me that goes without saying. I mean, do I really have to say you have to find a nice girl? I mean, do I really need to say that she needs to be respectful? To me, that's a given. So that's why I'm not really speaking on that in this particular video. It's a given she better be treating you good, and she needs to be nice, and she needs to be sweet and loyal and honest and all of that. So yes, I do know that there is other things to consider than just how someone looks. I get it. But having said that, we've got to up our standards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a few examples of where I think brothers should be, the look I think brothers, and I don't want to, let me rephrase that. Not necessarily the look, but the level of girl that I think brothers should be striving for at the minimum. Every girl that I show you, she will not be below the minimum. Now, some will be high, maybe even higher than what you or I could even attain. But every picture I show you will be the minimum of what a brother should be striving to get when he goes to the 5 hot spots. The 5 hot spots being, here comes a little cutie doo-wop. Hopefully she'll walk in the frame. Every brother should be striving for in the 5 hot spots. That is the Philippines, Thailand, the DR, Brazil, and Colombia. Those are pretty much the 5 hot spots. If I'm missing one, guys, tell me. But I'm going to show examples of the minimum you should be striving for in each of these countries. I'm going to show you examples of pictures of girls that show the look of the minimum you should be striving for in these 5 countries that we tend to visit. I call the 5 hot spots. Okay, so if you're dating a girl below the girls in these examples I'm going to show you, that's fine. Maybe she's a good girl. Maybe she's got money. Maybe she is just really good to you. That's fine. But just say she's a good girl. Don't feature her as she's hot. Don't be showing her off like she's something, because she's not, guys. If she's not meeting this standard, then yeah, just keep her in the house, man. Keep her in the house, because as men who are going who are going overseas, we're going over there to basically reinvent ourselves. We're going to become anew, to be reborn, to be born again. We're going to be born again, and dating the same Boquishas and Sharishas or girls who look just like, come on, man. Come on, man. So anyway, we're going to start this out. So I'm going to show about 3 or 4 picture examples from each country of women of the type of look a man should be striving for. And then I'll take your comments at the bottom. All right, so we're going to start with the Philippines. Let's get started. Okay, it started getting real windy, so I had to change up the scenery a bit. So, but yeah, that's the first set of pictures, Filipinas. So now look, some of the girls in those pictures are higher than, what many of us can get. Some of them are lower than what a lot of you brothers can get. But no one should be dealing with any girl that is less than the least girl on those sets of pictures. Whoever you think is the ugliest girl in those pictures that I just showed you, you shouldn't be dealing any less than her. Okay, every girl in those pictures meets or exceeds minimum passport bro standards. Now, like I said, tastes are subjective, but I think I chose some girls that we all can kind of agree are attractive. And as passport bros, as traveling gentlemen, we may not realize it, but we have a lot of leverage when we go overseas. And that's what I want people to start to realize, including myself, that we have a lot of leverage when we go overseas. We don't really have to scrape and scrounge and settle and, like we may have had to do, in the United States. Unless you are literally just got I don't know, man, unless you're just really tore up, you really shouldn't have to settle. And if you're settling, it probably means you're moving too fast. We're getting with women. We want a girlfriend in 2 weeks and that sort of thing. Take your time, take your time, take your time. And again, as I keep saying, this is something I'm telling myself as well, that, you get there, especially if you're not living there and you're just visiting, you're rushing because you only have a limited amount of time to be there. So you're like, man, I want to meet someone now. I want to meet someone fast. Okay, she's cute, she'll do. And that's kind of what I think a lot of us are doing. We're rushing instead of taking our time. And I get it. If you only got 3 weeks, then you are pressed for time. But this video is really more for the passport bro that's actually going to be staying, either living in these areas, in these hot spots, or going to be staying long term, like, months over there, or 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, or like I said, or relocating there. You're going to be there enough time to where you can kind of relax and take your time and meet someone that you actually like, that truly, you're truly attracted to. All right, so let's move on to the Thai girls. We're gonna display some Thailand girls. This is my opinion. But again, I'm gonna show a baseline of what type of girls we should be trying to target. I don't like using words like target, because you know how people take that stuff out of context. So you know what? Not target. Girls we should be, I don't even want to say pursuing, because that sounds crazy. Girls we should be courting. Here's Here are some examples of the Thai women we should be courting. Okay, so that's a baseline and a top line. Well, there is no top, but that's a baseline and a median of where we should be dealing and who we should be dealing with in Thailand, guys. Anything below the worst looking girl in those pictures, leave her at home. If she's a good girl, leave her, maybe she's a good girl, but don't be bragging on her that she's hot or she's a baddie. If she's less than the lowest girl in those pictures, then she's not a baddie. Because some of those girls in those pictures are not baddies. So if she looks worse than some of those girls, then she's clearly not a baddie. So quit calling her that. Quit framing her like that. Quit presenting her to us like that. These are the level of Thai women. Every woman that I showed you is acceptable. Every woman in the Philippine grouping is acceptable. No one's going to clown you. No one can say anything. Any one of the women I showed you so far, if we pulled up to your condo and she answered the door and we're like, hey, is Tyrone here? Yeah, you come on in. You come in now. Oh, we'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, Tyrone. Tyrone, any one of them. We would be like, okay, Tyrone. Now, obviously, if if you're El DeBarge, we expect you to do a little better. We expect you to have that top line. You're Idris Elba. You look you got the Chris Brown look and the Chris Brown swag. Hey, we're gonna expect that top line. We're gonna expect more towards that top line. But you're not gonna get clowned by any of the girls shown. Not any of them. All of them are acceptable. Now at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you an example, not an actual girl that I know, but I'm gonna show an example of, I was gonna say target. I'm gonna show you an example of the type of level that I would like to acquire, eventually. So, all right. I was gonna say, should we stay with Asia? Should we skip on over to, you know what? Let's skip over to Brazil. Let's skip on over to Brazil, and then we'll make our way back to Thailand, make our way back to Vietnam. But let's skip to Brazil. All right. So let's give some examples of the type of Brazilian girls passport bros should be dealing with on a bare minimum. Okay. So that's the Brazilian example. Look, really, I mean, I was going to say, and I am still going to say it, there's even less excuse not to have a cute girl in Brazil because they're so plentiful that, you know, come on, guys. I mean, I don't want to say it's easy because, look, I acknowledge meeting beautiful women, attracting beautiful women is not easy, really, no matter where you go. It's not easy. It's just easier. But come on, man. We were shaped in the dating hells of the United States. By now, especially those of us that are of Harriet Tubman heritage, we should have some skills under our belt when it comes to women a little bit. I mean, you got to have a little bit of player in you, a little bit of skill, right? So with the little bit of skill you learned in Atlanta or Charlottesville or OKC or New York or LA, with that little bit of skill, along with the leverage that being an American and being considered wealthy gives you in some of these other countries, come on, man. You got to be able to pull at least a 7, guys. Come on, man. It's no excuse. And again, I'm talking to myself as well. So, but yeah, when you're in places like Brazil, I'm shaking the camera. When you're in places like Brazil, Colombia, come on, man. It's really no excuse because the women are so pretty so often that it should almost be like, on it's about as easy as you're gonna get on planet Earth. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, if you're dealing with a Brazilian girl, she should be no less than the least girl in those groups of pictures. No less than the least girl in those pictures. So, and again, I know, like I keep saying, beauty's subjective, but I think I have an eye for beauty, if I'm being honest. And at any rate, this is my opinion, it's my video, and it's my rules. So, all right. So, I was gonna do Vietnam, but I don't think enough of us go there yet. Maybe I'll reserve Vietnam for a little later. I think I'll just skip on over to. Let's just go to the DR. Let's check out the DR. All right, that's the DR. Now, some countries like the DR, you have people of the same race, but, or people of the same nationality, or even ethnicity, but not necessarily quite the same race. You know what I mean? Or the same, the same aesthetic, or what's the word I'm looking for? You know, I can't think of the word right now, but they don't quite look the same. They look like different races of people, yet they're all of that race. You know what I mean? So I tried to shake it up a bit. I tried to find some girls that looked a little more Afro-Latina, because I know a lot of the brothers like that. And then I tried to find some who look more what an American would think of as, because I don't want to offend any Latinas out there, what an American would think of as traditionally Latina, which honestly would be Selena, Jennifer Lopez. To us, that's how we see Latinas, women who look Mexican. That's how we see Latinas. At least, certainly, those of us from Texas further west, all the way to California, New York and Florida, they might have a different. The brothers there might have a different idea of what Latina is, but I think United States wide, we kind of see Latinas as Mexican looking. You know, those girls that look like the famous singer Selena, or J Lo, or Shakira. We generally don't think of a black girl, even a light skinned black girl, as Latina, even though we know there's plenty of Afro Latinas, but it's something we kind of have to remember. We have to think, oh yeah, that's right. There's a lot of black Latinas, but that's not something that just comes to mind. I'm sorry. Okay. Just like you don't think of black people when you think of England. You know, and he looks like me. You're like, whoa, it just doesn't come to mind. You know, good day, how are you? Top of the morning. It's not what you think. You see me, you don't want to hear top of the morning. Doesn't sound right. I mean, not that it don't sound right, but it's just an unexpected accent. So it's unexpected culture. So for us, we don't necessarily, especially those that haven't traveled yet, we don't necessarily think of a girl who looks phenotypically black as Latina. But that is incorrect, because yes, they are Latina as well. So hope I cleaned that up. All right, so let's skip on over to our final destination, Colombia. 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 Oh, two O's. Two O's. Two O's. Colombia. Don't spell it with a U, because the fellas make fun. They hate that. Passport bros hate when people spell Colombia with a U. Sometimes I do it on purpose. I notice they really, if you do it, someone's gonna, you put that in a comment or something, inevitably someone's gonna say something. It's spelled when not a U, like they're teaching you something. So, all right, here we go with Colombia. All right, guys. So that concludes this video. I mean, I could have did some other countries, Ethiopia, which I really want to go. Vietnam, which we're going to have to start taking seriously, because Vietnam is looks like it's about to start being one of those destinations, because visa issues in other places. And man, I don't know what's going on with Sosua right now. I'm hearing things, you know, which is, whatever, because, I don't go there very often. But I can see a lot of the fellas from Sosua starting to make their way to Thailand. I really believe that's going to happen if you know, if the changes over there are permanent. So, but whatever. So yeah, some of us are probably going to try to make our way out to greener pastures, more, less adulterated pastures. Me being one of them, because I want to be as exotic as possible. So, but yes, we definitely want to keep the standards high. That's what this video is about. As I said at the beginning of the video, I know there's other things to consider besides just how good someone looks. I know that. That is true. Beauty's also in the eye of the beholder. And so what I think is beautiful, you might not. I think Westerners have a general, though, sense of who and what's attractive. I mean, I think if you ask 10 Western men, is Gal Gadot, the girl who played Wonder Woman, is she attractive? Most guys are going to say, not all will say she's their dream girl, but pretty much all of us are going to go, yeah. Then there's other girls that we could say, we kind of universally agree are not attractive. So, so we kind of have an idea of what's attractive, and we generally tend to agree with. And there are exceptions to every rule. There are situations where a man may sacrifice some beauty in order to get some substance. So if the woman has money and she's providing, an increased lifestyle, and she's financially contributing heavily, okay, that's a special skill. Special skills can take take the place of a beauty point or two. You know, if if you are an older gentleman, if you're 60 years old and you want to date women, you're tired of dating young women. I don't know why it would be, but you're tired of dating young women and you want to date a woman your age, and you want to date a woman who's 55. Okay. We all can understand that a 55-year-old is not going to look like a 24-year-old. Okay. But she should still be she should still be fine for 55 though, right? Like, she should still be the MILF. She should still be MILFish. Or a GILF, grandma, a GILF. She should be GILF. She should be GILF, right? She should be a GILF, she, at least, right? So, I mean, just because she's older don't mean she has to be tore up. There's, who comes to mind. And granted, she's a kind of a bit of an anomaly, but if you guys ever watch, I should know her name. If you ever seen that show, The Mandalorian, on Disney, it's a Star. I love Star Wars, but if you ever seen the Star Wars show, Mandalorian, there's this Asian woman on there, an Asian character. She's like a bounty hunter or whatever, and I think her name is Shan or something, Shan or whatever. But she's one of the characters on The Mandalorian. I think at the time of that filming, she was 60 or 59. Dude, shit, that girl is so hot. I mean, like I said, I believe she's about 60 years old. I didn't see too many girls in Thailand that were 23 years old that I would choose over her. She is a hot 60-year-old. But I understand that they're not girls that look like her who are peak condition and all that. And I'm not even sure what she is. I think she's Chinese. I'm not sure. I don't know what nationality she is. She kind of looks Filipino, but maybe she's half. But she's really attractive in my opinion. Yeah, guys, but that's why we move overseas in order to leverage. So, yeah, if you're going to date a 56, 57-year-old woman, it should be her. It should be somebody in that range. You know, we don't expect her to be 24. We don't, no one expects her to look 24, but you can still be hot for your age. And if you're getting an older woman because you want maturity and you're tired of the games that young girls bring, because I do understand, you want someone you're more compatible with. Though, if she's from Thailand or someplace and she's 55, that doesn't mean she's going to be compatible with you because your cultures are. You might actually do better dating a 40-year-old who's young enough to have been immersed in American culture, and she probably can relate to you more than the girl your age, if you're a 60-year-old. So, weigh all that out. But, I can understand wanting someone more mature if you're a mature gentleman, as I am, and you want someone closer to your age. That's fine. No one expects her to look 24, but she should still be hot for her age. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's about keeping the standards. We're starting to look bad out there, guys. And my thing is this, I don't want to say too, you're going over there and literally able to select who you want. So why are you selecting low standard? You're literally going over there to leverage your American exceptionalism. So why are you leveraging all the things, all the perks that you get for being an American overseas, and you're getting the bottom of the barrel where the local men are making fun of us? Come on now. In Philippines, they make fun of us. I don't know about Thailand. I'm sure there too. The Philippines, the local men make fun of us for the choices of women that that many American men end up with. They make fun of us. You know, they date the scrap. They date the scraps. They date the girls we don't like. We don't care. That's why they're many times they're not even angry. They're not mad. They're like, hey, guy, because we're dating a girl they wouldn't touch anyway. So man, we got to raise the standards as passport bros, as black men. Come on, we're some of us are looking bad out there. So, and again, I'm speaking to myself as well. So, okay, guys, this is your main man, Prometheus. Just wanted to give this public service announcement, I'll call it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.